Why has double tap been such a point of debate recently within the COD Zombies community?
What happened to double tap?
Have you seen this? Double tap is by far the most hated on perk for absolutely no reason.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Double tap has been through changes over the years. In this video, I'm going to cover how double tap was loved, hated, and killed in Call of Duty Zombies. Dating as far back as 2008 in COD World at War, double tap made its first appearance on the map Verrucht. The perk's ability was to increase the fire rate of all your weapons that you have equipped. It was a new interesting way to make your weapons more viable while killing the undead within the first 3 DLC maps of World at War's life cycle. Through Black Ops 1, it stayed the same until Black Ops 2 is where we saw the most significant change to the double tap, becoming double tap 2.0. The perk's ability was the same, along with the cosmetic change, except for that your weapons would fire 2 bullets at a time, essentially doubling your damage. This made this perk a must-have and mandatory to have for easier survival, causing the debate of being titled a crutch perk. Now that we covered our bases, I want to speak about the common arguments that double tap 1.0 is inferior and downright an awful mechanic to the beloved game World at War. The main arguments for why it isn't a good perk is that it's simply not as good as its older brother. Of course, talking about the mechanic of doubling damage, although this is true on paper, the Zombies game mode is very complex and can't always be analyzed through statistics. The other argument is that its functionality is to basically just make you lose ammo in your clip faster. I'll start my counter arguments here, beginning with the latter. Although it is factually true with double tap 1.0 you are made having to reload more often than without it, the simple concept of DPS can easily overthrow this argument. The faster you shoot, the more damage you're inflicting over time. A simple math equation will show that you're actually killing more zombies in a faster amount of time than if you did not have the perk. The second argument simply can be favored in 2 ways. Sure, it is true that it is inferior to its updated version. It still serves its purpose in the older titles and isn't just complete garbage, said by many community members. In this next topic, I want to speak about the pros of double tap 1.0 and the drawbacks of double tap 2.0. Double tap 1.0 is essential to all single fire or slow firing weapons in World at War / Black Ops 1. The first pro I would note is, of course, the fire rate increase to all weapons across the board. Second, shotguns pump faster. Third, snipers rack faster. Fourth, making explosive and special weapons more versatile, such as the Colt 1911 Pack-a-Punch or the ray gun. Lastly is the overall aesthetic to the perk, having an unique look and great jingle to increase the quote-unquote aura, as everyone is saying nowadays. Double tap 2.0 is great nonetheless, as it's basically double tap 1.0, but stronger and more vibrant. The love for this perk is wild, but sadly to say, the only drawback is that it's just too good. Now some of y'all may be getting mad and typing in the comments, but this is just the truth nonetheless. The proof is that Treyarch decided to not put it in any title 5 titles in a row. It's simply too cheap, and this causes the early game to diminish and struggle, getting rid of fear factor and skill in the early game. This is still a great perk overall, don't get it confused, but that's the reason why it's been taken out. Now with that out of the way, we can get to the title of the video. Here is why double tap should make a comeback. Wait, that's not what it says. Why double tap should be in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies. There we go. That's more like it. It's simple really. It should come back for 3 reasons. Number 1, it brings back the soul and classic fundamentals of the old games. Number 2, it adds variety and makes fire rates better, so you have more weapons to choose from, making single fire weapons more viable again, like snipers, pistols, and shotguns perhaps. Lastly, you'll get more love from the community. This is an easy win for Treyarch. It makes this game feel like the old games. Wait, you didn't really think it was that simple? I came prepared. Like stated previously, there were flaws and imbalances, hence the reason it was killed in the first place. I came up with several ways to rework this perk so it's suitable to fit in the new Zombies experience while still feeling original and reinvigorated. First, it should obviously increase the weapon rate, I'd say by 66%. This is actually contrary to the original versions, as it was only 33% increase. But this is to account for it not having a doubling damage effect, while still being a viable perk and not left in the dust. Next, I came up with 3 different passive effects that can all be used, or just one, to this perk to make sure it's not too overpowered. You guys comment down below to let me know the one you like the most, or if all of them should be added. Piercing rounds, so that you can shoot through an entire crowd, as well as doing more damage to bosses and armored enemies, making your weapon more useful. Stopping power, which will slow down enemies by 20% when they are taking damage. Ricochet, not the horrible anti-chase system, but causing your bullets to ricochet off enemies, players, and items, and hit other enemies in chain effect. That is my full composition on Double Tap 1.0, 2.0, and hopefully one day 3.0. Like the video if you enjoyed, and don't be afraid to leave a comment. Share this with someone you argued with on zombie topics before, and if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to do so to join and build a great strong community one day. And I'll see you next time. Mixtape out.